Okay, record is on. Um, Pound CAD looks pretty good. Looks like we may have some range. Pound CAD's generally been around 200 pips a day. Pound Aussie, it's kind of a no man's land mess there. Dollar CAD, Dollar CAD had an unusually large day yesterday. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me just double check that. That's 7. This is the eighth candle here. Okay. CAD yen. Okay, so we've got a couple of pairs that might have some promise. New Zealand dollar. That might have some promise also. Let me go out to the 1 hour. Just see where we are. Oh yeah, that would be good. Yeah, so we could get some room down to here on New Zealand dollar. We need to let this bottom wick form on this candle. Let's look at these 1 hour charts. Okay, pound dollar is going to head into no man's land and maybe chop around a bit. Dollar yen looks like it could give us some room if this stays above here. I would like to see that 18 crawl up. Euro yen is again no man's land and about 30 pips to the 89. Pound CAD, that needs to stay above here also. Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie had an unusually large day yesterday also. Let's see here.
Stopped out on that one overnight.
On Pound Aussie?
Yeah, because that had a nice daily.
Yeah, we should be right near the 50. Hang on, I'll take a look at that in a second with you.
Yeah.
And we're right at the 50 here. So it's blew its range out and came back to the 50%. So this may dance around a bit. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's a 1 hour chart.
Right.
Dollar CAD, same thing. It needs to stay above here. But we've got these bottoms. This is where we're likely to see something on dollar CAD in here. Euro dollar. Let me just push euro dollar farther up the list.
It's always more difficult, isn't it, when you get big candles after news spikes?
Yeah. This should head down to the 89 also. That's about 20 pips there on euro dollar. Let's go down into the 5 minute. Squeeze this in. That all kind of makes sense now looking at this on euro, where we've got a nice solid 5 minute downtrend. And on the 1 hour chart, after a bit of a pullback, I could see this coming down here. 1 hour is in a downtrend, so this could make some sense. Let's go back to the 5.
And the 89 is pretty much, all right.
Go ahead. What were we going to say?
I just noticed something back on whichever chart you were on there, and the 89 is about the same level as the bottom of your your blue box, isn't it?
You mean yesterday's London?
That's what it is. Yeah, yesterday's London. If that's your blue box, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 89 is at roughly that level, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And this would be the shelf right here. Would be these 3 bottoms and these 3.
Yeah.
These 2.
Yes. It's picked up quite a few candles up.
Yep. Someone performing magic back there?
Must be Daryl.
A reminder thing.
Oh, okay.
To tell you to record, but Michael doesn't like my music, and he's taking my job too. So I don't know.
This would be the area right here where this would stop. Let's give it a look-see. And we still have
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, very often when you get all these news spikes, the price just ends up going back to where it was before it started.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So
I took an aggressive short here. You know, that solid candle tapped the uh, the 18.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's 4 candles, solid candles. So I,
Yep.
grab that right there. Let me just see where we are here.
You're in
Whoop, whoop,
profit.
whoop, 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 whoop. Wrong one. All right. So now let me go back to the 5. I didn't get a chance to review yesterday, but just thinking about it, I can think of a few things that I probably could have done differently.
Hey,
Wow, what's that background noise again?
James.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How's that washing machine?
I don't know. He's got his computer in the toilet with him or something.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh dear.
Either that or he washes it out daily or something.
Okay, let me go back to the 1. Oh, it just kept going. It gave me a little spike down, but not enough to cover the spread and all that.
Mm.
So the next area would be here. I didn't put in a stop. That's what, 6 pips there. And I'll go with 8 on this. So now if I'm short euro, let's look at dollar CAD. Dollar CAD. Now let's look at another dollar pair. Let's look at dollar yen. And dollar yen should be creeping up. This looks pretty good. Something happened. China's getting ready to do something unusual or whatever. I heard a quick blurb on the radio, but I didn't get a chance to follow up on it.
I heard something about possible devaluation of currency. Is that right?
I know it was supposed to be a bit of a biggie.
Other than the devaluation they've been doing over the last 4 days.
I don't know. I just heard that they're, to expect big things, big news out of China. What kind of news, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't see anything different on Forex Factory.
Okay.
They're expected to devalue the yuan for the 3rd day.
Oh, really? Well, oh no, that's China. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yep.
But in the larger scheme of things, it doesn't change much. But here's the deal: is right now there's about a 3.5%, about a 4% devaluation compared to the dollar, which it was pegged to before, and so compared to the rise in the value of the dollar against all the other currencies, which is more like 20% over some period of time, that's still considered kind of a drop in the bucket.
All right. So yeah. Well, I don't know why they said expect big moves out of China.
Well, because that's the way news works.
Yeah, it's the way they report it. It doesn't mean it's
Yeah. I mean, if it bleeds, it leads, right?
right.
I know they're robbing the third world of all their rare minerals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, robbing's not the right word, but I mean, you go to some of these poor African countries. I mean, they're building roads for them in exchange for their minerals, aren't they? It's just
right.
like barter trades, you know. Yeah.
And for some of those countries, that's actually a good deal.
Indeed, yeah, yeah.
So New Zealand dollar should be heading short also. And we're stuck at that no movement thing again. Okay, dollar franc should be going long. Not much there. It's a little ugly, but I'll draw it.
Very steep, isn't it?
Okay, euro dollar. This is where I put my stop here at 6. I think it was 6 pips on a 1 minute chart, 8 pips.
8.
Yeah, 8 pips. So it's going to get tagged at 2.5 pips about there, I would guess, if it gets tagged. Let's see what happens. Still feel this has got room down to the downside, so I may take a second entry on this. And we have here come on. I'll leave it like that for the time being. Aussie CAD. There's a little room there to the upside. Didn't catch anything just yet, though. Nothing there to catch. Let me go to a 1 minute here. Oh, that was a nice setup there. Let's go back to pound, still waiting. Euro yen, still waiting on something on that. No, dollar yen, euro yen should be similar. This is pretty near its yesterday's range also. Oh, euro dollar is out. Oh yeah, sure is. Let's see what happens here. This is the best looking of the bunch of the charts. Don't
back up to the figure too.
Yeah, don't tell me it's going to do this.
Too, yeah.
What's that?
So it tagged that lone soldier, didn't it?
It sure did. Tagged it right on the. But let's watch. I still want to take another short on this. This is the best looking bunch of the bunch of charts at the moment.
Yeah. Lou, can I just ask a quick question about your Twin Towers?
Sure.
The second candle has to be marginally above the height. The high of the second candle has to be at least above the first one.
Yeah, this candle should be the wick of this candle.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's by 0.1, but it has to be at least higher. Yeah.
Yeah, at least higher. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, I was just double checking on that. Yeah.
I did a few of those with someone the other day, just showing them on the 1 minute for the binaries.
I was going to say that must work a treat on a binary, that Twin Tower.
Yeah, it does.
I
And
mean, it's hard to find one that doesn't work, actually.
yeah, I know. But the trouble is, like I said, getting your money
Yeah,
from the broker. But
yeah,
he's going to give it a shot.
yeah.
He's been trading it live on 5 minutes and 5 minutes and 1 minute. He's been doing very well with it.
I can imagine. I can imagine it's really good on a 1 minute chart.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
don't have to wait very long to find out what's up.
No, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's put this here, and that's probably that 5 minute. Yeah, it's right up there. Let's take a look. I don't see anything else in. This would still have a leg down, but it's not setting up yet. Let's see what happens on this pound and euro.
That both the pound dollar and the, but anyways, the pound dollar is working off of a twin tower right now.
Yeah, I would like for this 1 minute to get out of this no man's land, or hit this 89, one of the two. Because the first trade was just an aggressive bounce off of the bounce off the 18 on a 1 minute. And this is going to creep down here to this. That's pound Aussie. Let me check something here. Okay, Euro Chef has a pretty low. All the pairs have really collapsed here, except for the pound Aussie.
Yeah, that's got a big one, hasn't it? And pound New Zealand. Look at that one. Sheesh.
Yeah, pound New Zealand's up there also. All right, let's go back here. I just want to see that Euro Chef had a 120, and I know that's pretty big for the Euro Chef. Let's go back here. Pound CAD. Oh, get back up here. Pound dollar. Let me look at Euro dollar.
Euro dollar is at the bottom of that shelf there.
Yeah.
Take it there.
And keep an eye on it. Still looking for an opportunity for a short here. Pound CAD could give us something to the top side. All right, this is finally bottomed out here, so now this may start to look good if we get a little bit of a pullback in here and a drop. It's got a little room left. That 300 is kind of big for that day. And this pound dollar, we go down here. Boy, that was it right there. 3. It's only got 7 pips to the pivot, and it banged it twice. Let me go out a little farther, and that same thing all the way around. I'll wait for the 5-minute close. And the 1 minute. Yeah, this is it right here, but I'll wait for the 5-minute close. See if it stays below here, and then take another shot at it. This pivot's going to be a bit of a sticking point, but we are in such a range. The market's not really keen on that. Let me just see where this, that's this candle right here. That's that price trap we're looking at. Well, that consolidation anyway. There we go.
The pound's really losing some steam. There may be some setups coming in the pound yen.
Okay, let me give that a look.
There's a bit of a bear flag on that pound dollar right there as well, wasn't there?
Yep.
Not a great one, but
Yeah, well, we need a pullback here. And we've got maybe 80 ticks.
Yeah, a nice pullback to the 18 or something.
Yeah, well, right in here is what I would guess.
Yeah. And it's only 12 pips away, so that's not unheard of.
Luke, can I just ask a quick question while you're on that chart?
Yeah, sure.
Go back to the from the
Wait.
current candle back to the first green candle you see.
Wait, let me give you control.
Can you do that? Because I'm usually on this web thing, whatever that means.
Oh, yeah, I see you're on the web. Yeah, okay. So go back to where now?
The first green candle.
This one.
Yeah, that one there. Yeah. Okay. Do you class that as a twin tower, even though the previous candle hasn't got any wick?
Yes.
That was a news candle.
Okay.
I would definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That would
that's
be a
fine.
twin tower.
Yeah. I just want to know whether the other candle had to have a wick on the top or not.
Yeah. So this is a twin tower. That's a twin tower.
Yeah. That's obvious one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
See most of them.
Yeah. Wow. I've got to get a binary account.
Yeah. Pound dollar. Okay, so this is just doing the pullback here. Or making the upper wick or whatever.
Mm.
And let me go to a 15. 15 would make sense to give it another leg down. Just have to see if the pivot will hold. That's the key. And let's look at 30. 30 makes sense also. All right.
The one you were looking at earlier, the pound CAD is making a deep pullback, but it's got a ways to go for a pullback.
Yeah, I see that. I marked it out earlier. And it's got some room to run, but if the pound doesn't have any strength, it won't run up.
Yeah. And there was some CAD news this morning that was favorable, but it was an orange, and so it didn't help the CAD much.
Let's see, dollar CAD. So this must be a CAD issue here at the moment, because dollar CAD and pound CAD. So this is Canadian doing it.
That could just be running back to somewhere around the 50% level of that spike, couldn't it?
Yeah, sure could. Let's take a look at the daily run here. Daily is down here. I got to squeeze this in a bit. Oh, wrong tool. Yeah, 50 is down in this cluster here. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that. This could be a cup and handle too.
Yeah.
All right, delete the fib. We're making a little progress on one of these. What is this, pound dollar?
Yeah.
There we go. Well, I knew I'd get some of it back. The first trade I took, that's just that aggressive bounce off the thing. It wasn't a,
You want to close it now, don't you, Lou?
Let me open it up and take a look.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
You had your 10 pips.
Oh, come on.
I suppose you could set it to close automatically, couldn't you, at 10 pips?
Yeah, I'd have to put the what do you call it in here. Let me do it that way because it should come back down. Do it like that. It was up quite a bit, quite a ways up. But I
You have.
tend not stare at these numbers and stare at the chart if I'm in a trade because I
Mm,
used to get kind of like, oh my God, and all this, craziness.
Yeah, I think you had over 12 pips at one point there, I saw.
Yeah, well, we'll just let it run. Let me just look at these other pairs. So dollar yen should have gone long. Um, so we're really out of sync here with these pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dollar yen. Let me see. Dollar chef should have gone long also. This is dollar chef. Yeah, it didn't. New Zealand dollar. Wow, that could set up for something nice. Let's drop this over here because that's got a nice curve. All right, so we're gonna wait on this one then. Well, I hear lots of popcorn back there today.
Yeah.
Okay, so New Zealand dollar is the next one I want to look at.
Yeah, Daryl's making his money to buy some decent music, isn't you, Daryl?
Yeah. Yes. And when I do, I'm gonna send you some Tchaikovsky.
And I've got a ton of classical music here because my son is a cellist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's probably like 300 or 400 CDs here with a bunch of names with K's, J's in them that I can't pronounce,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of Yo-Yo Ma.
Wow, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and that's my son's idol. That was New Zealand dollar was the other one I was watching. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this if it stalls out up in here, up around this pivot.
Mm. Yeah, there's a lot of candles take that pivot, isn't there?
Yeah, and plus the New Zealand and dollar are so far apart here.
Yeah. Yeah, top and bottom of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for a spot to catch the
That's the trouble.
turn.
When you look at those currency strength meters like it is now, you're wondering how the hell you can have like 5 green candles in a row, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know the break point on this. When
Yeah.
this actually
Yeah.
shifts over.
Yeah.
Like if we look at the Crescendo.
Yeah. That might give you a better understanding, I
Oh, I
suppose.
have to open that broker. Yeah, let me open that. Okay, I'm waiting for that to open. And what is this? A pound dollar 1 hour chart? Oh, I must have had it open for some reason. Let's go back to the 5. I might have missed my opportunity to get out of this.
Yeah, like you were saying yesterday, that was just a management issue, really, because
Yeah, sure was.
you didn't have your stop in, did you? Or you
Nope,
take profit in, rather.
nope.
Yep.
Lava Trader. I don't know what that means, James, but James is typing Lava Trader. Maybe he's talking about George.
I don't know what it means either.
All right, waiting for this other broker to open. Let me go back to New Zealand dollar. Just keep an eye on that. Okay, so now we might have something here. Catch those last two. I don't see anything going on there. Let me mark this and just see where we are on the 1 minute. Nah, we're above. I need to like to see all this stuff get back down here again. Okay, Euro Aussie. Let's take a look there. No, nothing there. Aussie dollar, 5 minute. This could give us something. Let's mark this. Yeah, it's a no man's land. I like for it to get back down here.
Yeah.
Just got to be patient
big
today.
Price trap there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Well, and the one before it as well, still the bigger one.
Mm-hmm. What am I in? I'm in a pound dollar. Hey, it's coming back. This thing may go sideways here for a bit.
Yeah, we're about 14 minutes from the stocks opening.
Okay. Oh, I was looking at the you see the DeSoto here is kind of mixed. The pound on the short time frame is definitely weak.
Yeah.
And the dollar is not particularly strong, but it's weak also.
Wow, look at oil.
Yeah, oil's just been let me bring up the oil chart. I didn't do any 4-hour trades last night. Let's bring this over here. And wow, oil just tanks. Look at that. That's oil. Well, that's a 1 minute, which is where I usually trade it. Let me bring it over to a 5. Oh, all morning it's been falling.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, down to its low was around $42 a barrel. So, gold's not following oil, so that's a good thing.
You're tagging your line now, so you in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Lou, what's the price of gas in New York?
$2.75-ish.
That's not too bad.
No. Oh, come on, give me the spread. Look at this. I made the spread already. What the fuck is going on?
Come on, why haven't they closed out?
Yeah, this is and I know what it is. It's the FXCM feed here. This should have closed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just hit 10.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Boy.
Oh,
That should have closed at 2.6 and it didn't.
Yeah.
That should have closed at 2.6, 130. Okay, I'll have to go back over it and watch it again.
Makes me realize how lucky I am to have a 1 point spread.
Yeah, well, again, yeah, and that could be a complication with the because on my FXCM I have less than a pip spread on
Yeah.
most of the like the pound dollar, euro dollar,
Yeah.
but I pay a commission, and my commission should show up in here. Okay, I don't want to mess with that at the moment. Let's go back to New Zealand dollar.
I mean, that's a terrible spread there, ranging between like all the time it's going between 2.4 and 2.8. I mean,
Yeah, and it gets right to your number. And like I said, you could do everything right, but you know
yeah,
the spreads. Look how many times the spread. I got tagged right by the spread.
yeah,
But you know, I just have to mentally adjust that that's what's going to happen here, and you know, adjust my stops and everything properly.
yeah. Or get your friend's Pepperstone account, and you
Yeah,
won't have a problem then.
New Zealand dollar. We might have missed that. Oh no, we didn't. This could still.
Dollar yen just made it. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it didn't.
The dollar yen did what?
Nothing. That it was my mistake.
Well, nothing there at dollar yen, but we got this pivot seems to be pretty strong here. And I just took a New Zealand dollar. Um, Let me go back here. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, that trade, yeah,
I was waiting for this, and we got the close below. I'm a pip
yeah,
or two late on the entry, but I'm happy with the entry.
yeah,
And we got a little bit of room left from yesterday.
yeah. And then NU's been one of the few that's been a tradable this morning in London too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think James got quite a few pips out of it this morning.
yeah. Well, when it trends, it's easy. Yeah.
Just missed a twin tower in the pound CAD.
Pound CAD. What time frame?
5 minute.
I don't see it.
That's not a twin tower.
No,
The,
this wick, the current wick has to be lower than the past wick.
I'm talking about the previous candle.
Up here?
No, 5 minutes ago.
Well, no, because when you're in a solid trend, oh, I see what you're thinking. All of these would be twin towers compared to the past one. That's because you're in a trend. You know, when you're in a trend, you're always going to make a lower candle, lower candle, lower candle.
Yeah.
When you get the opposite color candle that takes out those stops, that's kind of what you like to see, like this one.
Oh.
You
Okay.
see,
Well,
each one of these would be a twin tower to the other candle, but they're all in the same direction.
Yeah,
You got me? So when you get that new candle and the new candle takes out those stops up there, if you want to think of it that way.
yeah.
You
So
see
that
over
one you're
here?
looking at there, Lou.
What's that?
So that one you were just looking at there.
Right here.
That one, yeah. So the wick on that candle on the bottom doesn't have to be below the wick on the previous one, no?
Yep. No, the bottom wicks have nothing to do with it. It's all about the
Yeah.
top wick.
Okay. The higher, yes, but lower, no. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Same thing here. You know, you got a green candle was the prior
Yeah.
candle.
Yep.
Same thing here. Green candle was prior, and you had a couple of them.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing here. Green candle was prior. And you see the
Really?
majority of these,
They're a
if you just,
no-brainer. It's unbelievable.
yeah, it's just waiting on it, you know.
Yeah.
This one, prior candle was red, and it's a little itty bitty green. But get used to your broker. That's the key. Because like on another broker, this might be a spinning top
Yeah.
because of the feed. So once you get used to your broker and its, you know, idiosyncrasies and all that,
Mm.
you'll be okay. Let me go
Yeah.
back to New Zealand dollar. And
Oh, yeah, it's going your way.
yeah, let's put in a 10 right here. Right at these lows, which is a good spot. That shelf. Okay. And let's put a stop. This is 2.7. So yeah, I'll go right above this the daily pivot. All right. I was talking about the Twin Towers. Saw another we got an email from someone anyway that may be another way to open up a binary brokerage, myself and a couple of guys. but I need to do a little bit more investigating and all that. So, because I hate to see the money there and not be able to take advantage of it.
Well, they're just crooks, aren't they? I mean, haven't you got recourse to law in that situation? Or?
Well, not when the Cyprus and all that, they've got no specific.
Oh, okay, so they're based over there, are they? All
A
right, yeah,
couple of,
okay.
well, the ones that I got burned on were, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Let
okay.
me take that
Yep,
back. I didn't get burned. I got my initial deposit back,
yeah.
so I
Yeah,
can't say.
there's a lot of Russians, allegedly there's a lot of Russians operating out of Cyprus.
Oh, okay. Well, that would not surprise me in the least bit.
And when you go there, you can't move for Russians.
Hmm. You end up in a box. Oh, there was a great Russian uh, mini series. I can try to think of the name of it. I downloaded the whole series. It was about the sex trade, where they'd go and find these Russian girls and
Oh, you've got
Polish.
plenty of them in Cyprus.
Yeah, it was a great mini series. It was mostly in English, but when they spoke in their native tongue, they had the subtitles so you could really follow it.
Hmm.
Oh boy, what was the name of it? This looks like it could be something also. Oh, this looks good also. Hmm. It's 3 candles deep though. It's going to give me a little bit of a pullback, but that's
Yeah,
got a nice potential
might
for
get
a
an
short.
entry there.
What was that?
But yeah, you might get an entry off that one.
And this is euro dollar. Okay. And it's a short, so New Zealand dollar. So all the pairs where the dollar is the base currency should be tanking anything against the dollar. So dollar CAD should be tanking or setting up for a short. Nope, I don't see that.
No.
Hmm.
3 minutes till the stock market opens.
Okay, and what is this New Zealand dollar? Let me just go back there. New Zealand dollar. And this pullback should go right back to near the zero mark because you got a shelf here with these guys and these guys right here.
Yeah,
If this pullback happens, that's about where it should go.
yeah, yeah.
And if the stock market has any strength, then the dollar should tank again, or the dollar pair should fall. All right, so nothing to do but watch this at the moment. And I should have set this to the last trade, which I didn't do. The last trade made was 130 bucks. So I should set this so that if this, goes against me, that's the other thing I didn't do yesterday. I didn't do my math yesterday. That I know I didn't do. Pound dollar. Let's just canvas again. And boy, pound dollar's got so much room left in it.
On the daily, it's been boxed in for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely in a weekly price track.
So I've been listening to some reports on UK housing, and it's it's actually quite distressing.
Oh Christ, look at that. Yeah, good call on that, Phil. That's big time. So there's a big move coming there, without a doubt. And we got nice piano keys. We got the whole setup for an explosion there. I have to come back and watch that. Let me just mark that down.
Oh, that's the weekly, yeah.
Yeah, well, pound dollar weekly. Um, I can just set up a price trap on it. PT. And, you know, set a manual price trap. So it looks like we tagged that 0 there on this, what is this, New Zealand dollar? Even on the weekly, look at that. You got those 3 guys.
Yeah.
Remember that formation we talked about? Someone's dumping a large position and then boom, it tanks. This could certainly give us a healthy drop. Let's go back to the 5.
Okay, stocks just opened.
Oh, wrong one. Okay, there's our pullback we were talking about. Right back to the 0 if it holds. I wrote the pound dollar weekly. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it's just waving goodbye to the 18.
Ooh. This is New Zealand dollar, pound dollar. Okay, let's follow this a bit. This is dollar yen. It's kind of a decent move there. Okay, I'm not going to chase it. Euro yen. That's just god awful ugly action. Nothing there. This is still kind of in no man's land. Everything's coming back up into these consolidations on these pairs. Dollar CAD. CAD yen has some room to the, well, has some room left. I won't say to the bottom of the top. Let's go back to pound dollar. Nothing there. That pivot may hold and give us an opportunity. And what are we in here? I just want to go back. New Zealand dollar.
Further up.
Oh, okay, that's just normal price action. Nothing to scream about there. The one good thing is a lot of these pairs are paying more than $10 a pip, which is nice. Push this up to the top so I don't have to look for it so much. Pound dollar had a potential setup. Okay, we're at the pivot. Let's go take a look on a 1-minute chart. That's the trade that got me in trouble this morning, taking that aggressive short. And we got a little bitty twin tower there. And I'm going to take that one also. Oh, my margin. God damn it. Forgot about that. When you jump a pound pair.
Close the trade. Close one of the trades.
Yeah, well, they're moving in my direction. Let me see if I can. This is when I should turn on the automatic, what do you call it, close order. If this collectively will get up to $100, that wouldn't be bad. I have a script that does the yeah, but that I need to let it rock a little bit more.
You're over your 100, so.
No, let it rock a little bit more. Patience is the key thing
patience
here.
is a virtue in trading. Yeah, absolutely.
That's that.
Yeah.
Close that.
Nice trade. Then
close order on this. Bang. Ah, oh, good. I'm glad it happened that time. Any other time I'd be just royally pissed. But this is the New Zealand dollar. Let me go back and just put it on the chart so I can actually see it. I usually don't like to watch it, but oh, look at that! Right at the damn.
Yeah.
All right, that's this broker. I just got to get used to this. The one thing I will say with FXCM, because the spreads are so low, that part of it they don't jerk you around with, but this part they can certainly create some damn agita.
Mm.
So why are you calling those spreads low?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it. Well, they're not low by my standards. I've got to say, but
Which spreads are you talking about?
Well, you just said that's what you like about FXCM. The spreads are low.
Yeah, well, what's happening is I have the FXCM feed, but for some reason it's giving me the Forex Broker Inc. spreads.
oh, okay.
So
But
rather than
those spreads
fuck
aren't
around with it,
FXCM.
yeah,
Yeah.
rather than
Okay.
try to mess around with it and change it, just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what did I get on that last trade? Just so I know when to bail out. I got 50 on that trade. Okay, so if I get 50, that'll give me 100 for the collective trades. Off quotes again. Okay, so I got 100 between the two trades.
Sounds good to me.
Right. So we're making our way back. Um, Let me go back to the 5 minute. But you understand what I did there. The collective, the two trades collectively gave me $100, so I grabbed it.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And I could have stayed in longer and took the ride. Like I'm comfortable with taking the ride. If it goes against me a little bit, because you just have to. Once you really catch a couple of long-term charts, then you'll see where that little exercise comes in handy.
Hmm.
Because you'll be up 200 pips, come back the next day, and you're only up 50.
Yeah.
And it's easy to kick yourself, and you just got to sit and just let it go. And all those swings, because remember, it moves down. Um, there's somebody I was trying to help out, and they can only trade. I think it's from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. Make a long story short, but I was trying to show him understanding price action and market movement. Do we have a trade here? Okay, I'm not going to chase it. I got to get the start out of my brain though. So from here to here is 40 pips. All right, let's call it
Yeah.
40 pips. But if we
Yeah.
count the swings, so I count the swing from down here to down here is 4. This swing from up here to up here is 7. This swing from down here is 10. If I count all these swings, there's probably 150 pips in here.
Yeah. Easily. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it may not seem like it's only a 40 pip move, or if you do, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Max MAXX system.
No.
He uses way too many fucking indicators to trade a trend. To make a long story short, but he adds in a whole lot on the way down.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Let me squeeze this in a little bit. Oh, okay. That's why I can't do that. We may have a 5 minute jobby here too. I'm gonna take that. And what I'm basing that on, again, I've seen these so many times. I'm basing it on this trend line break right here, where this red candle opened on the other side of these two guys.
And it was a twin tower as well, wasn't it?
Yep. So let me open this up a little bit. I don't need to see this. I can't close it. Bring this down. And now this time, let me bring this down to a 10 also. Yeah, so the Twin Towers, a warning that the next candle should go my way if I was doing a scalp or something like that, if this
Yeah.
gets 3, 4 pips. But again, with a broker with a smaller spread, these things work out like a few pips in your favor in a hurry.
Yeah. So say you've got a small enough spread, you wouldn't even necessarily need a binary broker. You could probably still do it anyway.
True. All right, so Let's look at New Zealand dollar. It's gone piano key, so I don't want to touch it. You understand that now? Now that you see, like, if I come back here, I don't want to. That's not a clean look. Euro dollar, euro yen, again, piano keys, dollar yen. Oh, the dollar yen. Okay, it's kind of big overblown candles. I don't know what's going on there. And what are we in? We're in pound dollar. Okay. Let's go back and take a look at that. Okay, so this has got to make the upper wick right now. And this candle was 10 pips. This candle was 9 and change. So I'm guessing if this is going to be the top wick, the 10 pips on this candle would bring us right down to about there. On the assumption each of these candles will be about the same size, red candles. Okay, I got to stop in. I got my take profit. Now I hear my wife moving around. I'm going to go check on her. I think she went downstairs. I'll be right back. You want me to put this on another chart or something?
Well, we'll wait for you, Lou.
Okay, good. I'll be right back. I just want to see if she's okay.
Daryl, are you there?
Yes. Are you gonna miss my music again?
No, mate. You started to say something about UK housing earlier, and then you stopped.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to interrupt. Yeah. So what they said was going on was the housing prices have been going up like pretty crazy.
Yeah, they are.
So I was in the middle of that stuff in California in the in the first 8 years of the 9 years actually of the market upturn.
Yeah.
And it started going pretty crazy. And I was looking around the country. I took several different trips.
Okay, I'm back. And oh yeah, it looked like we almost did that 10 pip thing we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
8. Okay, well, we'll see. Let it rock and roll a little bit.
So anyways, Michael and I were talking about the housing in the UK.
Oh yes.
So anyways, I was in the middle of that fray for 9 years in California from about 2000 to 2010, and I was also taking trips to a few different cities around the country, and the national average for there's a national average for like housing prices compared to a person's income, and the average in most cities around the country at that time was about 3 or 3.5 times the household annual income was what the price of the house was. So if your if your income for the household was $50,000, you'd qualify for about $150,000 to maybe $200,000 home at the most. So it was about 3.5 to 1 on average. Well, at that time in California, it had jumped up to as high as 8.5 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
London's the same.
Well, yeah, the report was in London it's 10 to 1.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
So I mean, that's definitely a recipe for disaster. So I don't know what your real estate risk is there, Michael, but just keep that in mind.
Somebody just recently sold a single garage, actually quite close to Harrods in Knightsbridge, for £100,000.
Wow. That's off the chain. I closed that at $100.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I saw the trade taken. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make
Nice
sure.
trade.
Yeah,
Nice
okay.
trade.
So yeah, we
Well, you had a good day.
Yeah, well, yesterday was a bad day, and those days happened,
Yeah,
But
we all have them.
and the first trade I took today it wasn't 1889. It was an aggressive trade,
Yeah,
but we got it back, so you don't panic. I mean, we're back where we started from yesterday, actually a little bit better. So
yeah,
you just
yeah.
don't
Good
panic.
stuff. Yeah,
There's another day coming, and the charts will set up nicely for you if you just sit and wait. And I would have got the full 10 out of this, but once I saw the $100,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, that's and that's how you get it back a couple of bucks at a time. You don't try to get it all in one trade.
yeah.
So, um,
Yeah, I'm in this dollar CAD right now,
let's look at dollar CAD.
and
In a dollar CAD long. Oh, I didn't catch. This is a nice looking chart here. I'm
Yeah,
not
there
sure
was.
why I
Yeah,
didn't
we
see
missed that one.
this.
Mm.
yeah,
I
I
might have been.
missed the perfect entry, but I did okay. But I also like the look overall of the chart, so I'm gonna try and hold this up to the next 15-minute supply area, which would be
Maybe
about
R1.
seven. Well, I don't have that on here. This chart. Let me.
Oh, okay. So let me look for the
Uh,
15-minute supply. See what that is.
yeah,
You're talking about right here.
around 75, 76.
75,
A bit
76.
lower down. Yeah.
Oh, down in this area. Okay. His chart may look different, a little bit different than mine.
And it's FXCM also.
Oh, okay.
Um, but anyways, yeah. So I've got a take profit set in at around 76, and there's also demand. I mean, there's kind of a level in there on the if you scrunch up your 15-minute chart, you can see it better.
Well,
So
I see.
There's one around 95. That's for sure. But
Yeah, I'll mark what I see. I see these guys.
yeah, that's the one I see.
Yeah, and I see this right here, but that's at R1, so that makes sense.
um,
Um,
well, give me the controls, and I'll show
okay.
you.
Yep, you got it. Give keyboard.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so what I'm seeing is right in. Let me see, about here. I mean, that's the supply area. It's this level, this level. Let me see. In my chart, I got something else going on here too.
Yeah, your candles may look different, but I see what you're looking at.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm seeing. I mean, I see this supply area. I see these highs right here. This kind of shittery right here,
Right. Wait,
and actually this kind of lone soldier guy right there. So that's kind of why I like that.
mm.
That's a beautiful one. A bit higher up, around 130, 120.
Here.
Yeah, if
No,
I
no, further left. Right back to the grey box.
right over here,
Oh, here.
No, next one over.
right here.
Yeah, that grey box. Bottom of that grey box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that left in a hurry there, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely did.
But
Absolutely
that's
did.
already been covered.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's all I got for now.
Yeah, maybe we will do supply and demand when I get back, because it lends itself really nicely. But with supply and demand, we have to. Well, you guys are pretty good with limit orders and stop orders. Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because with supply and demands, you can do a lot of stuff with limits and stops to manage the trade when you're not there. Um,
You're
So
kind of forced into it, aren't you? 'Cause unless you're looking at your chart for 24 hours a day, you're never going to get the entry, are you?
yeah, correct. So like an example, we'll use this chart. This is an outstanding area right here. Let me blow this up. Only because, now this is my take and how I reference certain supply and demand zones. I need to see a dominant candle spit out of that area. Okay. So there's a couple of them in here. So you look at this one. When this candle left, it closed. The close of this candle was lower than the low of the prior candle. They were in a hurry to get out of there. This is not as dramatic, but here's a much more dramatic one. The close of this candle was lower than the prior candle's low. They were in a hurry. They said, enough is fucking enough. Same thing here. Those are what you call really strong exit zones because they got out of there in a hurry. So, for instance, if I marked this area, let's say, all the way across the chart, and I mark it differently than they do it too. That's the other thing. I would mark this little candle here, and they would mark the wick of the candle down to the candle body. But I would mark that. So, what you could do, and if it bounces off, you in many cases you're looking at about 75 to 100% comeback if it hits that area. Okay. So what you could do is you can have a buy stop here, a buy limit, a sell limit here. So if price comes up and reaches this area, you have a sell limit. Let's say you go in with one lot. Then halfway down, and that's a pending order. Okay, so it's a sell limit with a pending order right there. So now as it sells, what you could do is you put two orders at the halfway point. Now at this order, you close that sell limit completely and close the entire lot. But let's say you wanted to let a runner keep going. So at the same time you close the sell limit, you also open up a sell stop with half the position. So it's similar to taking half the position off and letting it run. You got me? Because if that sell stop gets tapped for a stop loss, it won't eat up all of this original trade's profit. Did I go by that too quickly?
No, I got that.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it again. I mean, I can watch the video later.
Okay, so it's a way of managing some of these longer term trades by the effective use of buy limits and buy stops, limit and stop orders.
Okay.
All right. So if you're not home and this is where you think price is going to bounce and give you a hard pullback, you put a sell limit here in this somewhere in this area. Or you can put a sell limit right at the very bottom of this. Let me do it, kind of textbooky for the moment. Sell limit right there, stop loss right there. And let's assume that this is the halfway point of your projected take profit. And you would like to take half off and let the rest run, but there's no way to do that. Let's say you don't have a script or an EA that does that for you. A makeshift way of doing it would be at this halfway point, you close this entire one lot trade. All right. And let's say this one lot trade gave you 40 pips profit. You close that entire trade with the 40 pips profit, but you want to leave something to run a bit. You got me? So then at the same time that you close this order, you open a sell stop at the same price with half the lot size. You got me? So this 40 pips was one lot. And now you're going to open up a sell stop with half a lot, and you want that to run down the rest of the way. And you're going to put your stop loss halfway back. So if this trade stops you out, or if this trade stops out, doesn't stop you. If the trade stops you out, then you still pocket half of the original profit as if you took half off to let the other one run.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got that now. But
okay.
Then actually, since you're having, then your loss would only be equivalent to 25%, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you're only using half a position.
Half the position going half the way back.
Right. So if anything gets lost, it was their money. You get me? It didn't come out of your account. It came out of like their side of it.
Hmm.
You got me? So on like dailies and weeklies, this strategy becomes pretty effective because even though you're not there, you could take some off, keep a runner going, and MT4 will do all of that beautifully without much hitches, even with slippage and all the other nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an effective way of using limit orders to manage a trade. I've got a video I did on it quite some time ago. I got to look for it. But it's a good way to, like, if you're not there, this is how you would manage some of those situations.
Excellent. I like that.
Yeah, and we'll cover it in detail because a lot of times the tools are there, but we don't know. We're not taught how to use them. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, Lou, although you can find supply and demand areas on any time frame, do you not think they're better found, or they're more meaningful on a higher time frame?
Absolutely more meaningful on a higher time frame.
Yes, I mean you can find your supply and demand area on, like, let's say, like a 4-hour chart or a daily chart or whatever, and then you can go down to your 15-minute chart and you'll still find it, won't you? So
Yeah. Well, what will happen is that that's a very good question.
you'll draw your box in like you just did on a 4-hour chart, and then you'll find it on a 15-minute, won't you? So
Well, no, it'll look different on a 15.
yeah, it'll look different, but you'll still find it, won't you?
Maybe. I want to find one to show you. But you know, when you go too far back, let me do 4-hour.
Yeah.
And okay, here's a good one on 4-hour right here.
Yeah.
See how hard that candle left that area? Here's
Yeah.
a better one here on 4-hour too.
Yeah.
It closed lower than that. Let's get the hell out of here. And from that point on, price has never come back. So let's mark that. Oh no, I'll do it this way. Yeah, because that box will be massive by the time we go down to a lower time frame. Delete. I'll mark the candle. Okay. Because on this chart, oh, you know what? I'll make a box around the area.
You've got one nearer, Lou, haven't you? You got one 5, 6, 7 candles ago, haven't you?
No.
The red candle with a long wick
Oh,
at the
here.
bottom. Yeah.
Oh, you know, I didn't see that wick. Okay,
Yeah.
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 So let me mark this, and you'll see as we go down each successive time frame, it looks less and less powerful because you'll see all the little candles inside this big one.
Yeah. Of course you will. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
And what happens is the close or open on one of those candles will just be a wick on a lower time frame.
There it is.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So there's a little one right there.
Yeah.
And that happened to work out that way, but normally this would look a little bit different.
Yeah. So see, for me, that's perfect. That's great like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what I would do would draw this box and see this low is lower than that that close. Now, just to show you where a lot of people make mistake, or at least in my way of thinking with these, is that they would mark, they'd say this was a demand zone because price moved away from it.
No,
But
took
look,
too
it
many
took
candles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles to break this high.
No, that's no good.
They were not in a hurry. There was nothing dramatic about it. So if price came back to this level again, I wouldn't expect anything really spectacular on it. A good example will show you how all these multiple levels work with each other. We kind of got off topic a little bit. Oh, let me do this. Let me make this a black and white clean chart. Okay, so this works out better. And here's what I want you to see. If we mark this candle all the way across the board, and you'll see every time we got up in there, every time, bam, no, bang, no, bang, no, tapped it, no. Because the theory with supply and demand is that there's a huge amount of orders that were up here unfilled.
Yeah.
You got me?
Yep.
So that's why when you see it come back, it'll wick in, boom, all of these are different ways of trading that same level. Now, um, depending on who you learn it from, they'll tell you that once a level is hit and it pulls off, that it's less powerful than it was the second or third time. And I kind of disagree with that because if you look in, it just happens this one works out perfectly, which I don't like. But um, if you look at this, when we left the area, all we got the second time was a tiny open above it. We came back the third time, we spiked above it but closed below it. We
Yeah.
came back the third time, all we did was just tag it
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Then we came back the fourth time. This time we didn't even get in the box.
Yeah.
That level is still powerful.
Yeah, you're right in what you're saying, Luke, because I actually, I've got a friend who's a supply and demand trader, and if he was sitting here, he'd say, no, that's no good. It's not fresh. For him,
Right,
he uses the word fresh. You've got to
right.
find a fresh area.
And even with that, the way they're taught, okay, so this one played out, boom, it's gone,
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I mean, that's for me. That's how I would see it. But
right?
he
So
sees
now
it differently.
look at well, and again, I look at this close being lower than this. We want to get the hell out of here. So
Yeah.
let's say I marked that candle, and watch, you'll see the same phenomena. Now I'm going to mark this candle. Let me move this over so I can grab the dots. I'm going to mark that gray candle, and then look what happens every time price got inside that gray candle.
Yeah.
And then I could, this one's not a good one, but this one's a good one. This one,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
this one
Oh,
didn't
look at that
close
one. Get the
below the
hell out of
slow,
there.
but you
Oh.
go ahead.
No, I said, look at that big long candle. Get the hell out of there quick.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. We're done. Nothing here to see. All right, folks, go home. Party's over. Same thing here.
Yeah.
Railroad tracks. So now, if I'm looking at supply and demand, the way they teach it, there are no demand, there are no good zones in here. However, I'm looking at this little fat area in here. If these candles get up in here, I would not be surprised at all. Oh, come on. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this come up in here and come
And
back
then
out.
turn around. Yeah. Yep.
Now, it could be a candle wick could spike. Could make two or three candles and make a
Yeah.
turnaround, but that's essentially
Yeah.
what I'm looking at. I'm looking at
Yeah.
price getting up in here and then breaching this bottom. I didn't draw this perfectly,
Yeah.
but you get the idea.
Yep.
So I handle it differently than they do. I don't know that there's a bunch of orders here because Sam Sidens, he says I used to sit at the desk and I used to have the papers in my hand with the orders ready to go to the next desk, so I saw how the candles formed and all this other stuff. You know, because he's not at that desk anymore and because so much of it is electronic, I don't know how much that plays into real theory anymore.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a fan of Sam Siden myself, but each to his own.
Yeah, well, I ended up with quite a few of his students, as a matter of fact, and I went to a bunch of his seminars because I'm in New York. And boy, you better not dare ask an actual real question. Oh, you better not,
Ain't
'cause
that the truth for all of them?
yeah. So, and I'll draw a couple. Like here's one here. In my way of looking at it, you see how we got the hell out of here? Let's get the hell out of here. And look when we came back. That's all we got. But it was in that envelope, if I can call it an envelope. It was
So you
in.
use that entire envelope area for the stop loss?
Yeah. Now, yeah, exactly. Depending on how aggressive you want to be, a breach of this area is your buy limit, and your stop is on the back side. Okay, and you're
Yeah.
looking at 1-to-1 risk reward.
Okay.
Got me?
Yeah.
And again, it's very aggressive, but you got to pick this first area the right way. That's important. Once you get this one, pick that one. Then let's go up to the next one. And again, this is Uncle Lou's way of doing it. I'm not saying Sam Siden is wrong or nothing like that, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. So that would be the next one.
You're saying Sam Siden's a pussy?
Well, he has feline tendencies, I say. He's got a girl that works with him. Is Nancy here? No, well, she
No,
waits to see
she's
this.
not. I checked first.
Oh, he's got uh an Asian girl that works with him that just has been blessed with Mamil attributes.
Oh, I see. So she's got a rack.
Oh, yeah. And Iran.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Lou, you're
again,
wasted it. You need to get down the comedy club.
so a breach of this line would trigger your long. Your stop would be in the back, and you're looking at 1-to-1. Got me? Here's another one right here. All right, this guy. And again, it didn't close above that high, but it was absolutely no question. Let's get the hell out of here. We're done. You get me?
Yeah.
And then we want a breach of this area, stop in the back, 1-to-1. All right, we don't get one here. We don't get one here. This is the next one right here. Okay? Now, again, you can't see all of this in the future, but you're looking at how dramatically am I running away from that prior candle. And then you want a breach of this line here, which you might have got it right there with that spike. You see that? Oh, well, this would actually be up at the top of this candle. I goofed up, but you get what I mean. I'm just drawing these quick. Yeah, a breach of the area, stop loss here, 1-to-1. All right, then you don't get another one until here, right here. You see the prior candle? We got completely, we're done with this. And again, price comes back into it. This is your stop, 1-to-1. All right, but you get the idea.
Yeah, you do it exactly the way I do. Except I move down to I draw them on the 4 hour and then move it down to a 15. But yeah, you do exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Then
premise.
put your stop on a 15. Is that what you're doing, Michael?
Yeah, yeah. You obviously you got your stops sometimes are not quite so wide, are they?
Oh shit! I that
Because what have you
dollar.
got there? You got at least what have you got there? A 40 pip stop on that? Oh, what I can't see.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, so you still have, yeah, it's a bit wide, isn't it?
Yeah, well, again, cut your lot
Yeah,
size.
well, it's not wide for a 4 hour chart, but
Oh,
yeah.
no, not at all. But that's where you would want to cut your lot size.
Yeah, yeah.
And the key is, like I said, you need to have one prior. So like right here, we've got one prior. If we get a little poke up in here, stop at the backside, and then 1-to-1 risk reward. And if this was big enough, you could do that pending order thing if you're not around. So yeah, you close the trade at 40 pips profit, and then at the same time you have a sell stop with half of that position to let it ride out the rest of the way. And if that sell stop trade doesn't pan out, you only lose it only digs into a portion of the money they gave you in the first place. Okay?
Yeah.
Didn't mean to get sidetracked, but it was actually
No,
a good
really
sidetrack to go over that.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very good. Thanks.
Yeah, and we'll cover it in detail, but this was kind of the quick and dirty of it. I got this other thing here I've been looking at that's been pretty decent also. This is the is this set for London or New York? I forget. But it's a,
breakout indicator, so it should be set for London.
your voice disappeared on me, Mike.
It's a London breakout indicator template, so it should be set for London.
And this has been pretty decent as I've been checking it. It reminds me a bit of the dots. You guys familiar with dots?
Yeah.
Okay. And they claim dots is this excellent system, and again, I'm kind of contrarian on certain things. You still got to figure out how to get into the trade correctly. And they use the guppies and all that. But all the dots are just profit targets. That's all it is, you know, and I find this to be comparable, very, very much comparable to the dots in its use. So, you know, you sell here, and again, you got your 41 pips, you got a split here, you got another take profit there. So this day you made money, this day you made money. This day you actually made money also because it did reach that first TP right here, the 35 pips. this day you made money, and when it went up there, and today you would have made money just on that breakout. I have to work out the stop losses and all that, but this looks to be very, very effective also, almost like a set and forget kind of thing.
Yeah, this works well for us over here because we can use OCOs.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Mm.
Which is beautiful because what you could do, and if for those that may not be familiar with OCO, it means one cancels the other.
One cancels other, yeah.
So what you could do is you can have a buy stop here, sell stop here. If the
Yep.
sell stop gets triggered, the buy stop gets eliminated. So
That's
you
it.
don't get whipped into both trades. You got me? So, and there's actually a way to do it here, but it's so twisted, I don't even bother with it.
But that's not the dots indicator there?
No, no, it is not. This is just a simple London breakout, and they project the take profits. And I'm thinking they're doing something similar with an ATR. I haven't even looked into the code.
I don't know if it's ATR or FIB, but it's something like that.
Yeah, very, very, very similar. Same thing, lightweight, and it's free. So, and I think you can adjust this. Let me just check this indicator list. London breakout, edit. Let's go over here. Yeah, you can edit start time, end time. So you can set this up for any session whatsoever.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
You got a minimum box size, maximum box size. So if this box is more than 50 pips, you'll say, no, I don't want to take it because there's nothing left. That kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's got all this, good stuff in it. I've been looking at and watching. I've been very, very happy with it. And I should drop it in the group so you guys can experiment with it. And I would like to automate this, make a long story short. Build an EA out of it. File, data folder. And I will drop this in the second Skype room, just so we don't have a bunch of leechers.
So it looks a little bit similar to the one Neo has, the Bob. You looked at that?
No.
Yeah.
I've heard of it and all that, but I have my own. I was doing my own breakout boxes a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's it's not a new thing to trade a breakout. I mean, that's, you know what I mean. You're not saying anything. And I'm not either. Just you find your own way to make it work. And this was, did this have a, this was London breakout, I think. London breakout. Okay, let me drop both of these. And yeah, that's going to go in the other room.
Oh, okay. I see.
So you can set this for any session. You can set it for London. You can set it for, whatever. And you can set your window, which is kind of cool. So here, I think they're only doing a 1 hour window. Let me go here, edit. Well, they're doing a half-hour window, 1430 to 1500, and then they ended at 15. And you see all the settings. And here they set your take profit factor, I guess is 1.5 times the box, 2 times the box, 3 times the box.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really simple, math-based, which I like. And experiment with it, and then we can try to come up with some ways to create effective stops and all that. And it's oh gee, who am I supposed to see? I have to see my homeowner's insurance guy today. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna try to come out tonight for London. Can't guarantee it, but if I can, I will. If not, we will pick this up again Friday. All right, and then next week I'll be off. I'll be around the computer, but I've got like way too much stuff to do, and I can't do it all in the evening. So rather than come in for one day, and I just take the week and get my business done, and then come back. All right,
Okay.
all right, guys. I will check in with all of you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Well, and I'll post this as soon as it's done.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Luke.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys.